is not just a ceremonial event, but a significant milestone in our nation's democratic journey. This fully constituted parliament is a living embodiment of our nation's diversity and unity. Each seat in this esteemed chamber represents the voices, dreams, and aspirations of our people, making it a true reflection of our democratic values. Governance and politics, though intertwined, serve different purposes. Politics is the pathway to governance. It is the spirited dance of democracy. Yet, once elections are behind us, we must embrace governance with a singular focus. If we allow politics to overshadow governance, we fail not only as politicians, but also as custodians of our nation's future. Our citizens have entrusted us with their hopes and dreams, looking to us to transform political promises into tangible realities. I'm heartened by your collective decision to engage in meaningful dialogue despite our differences. This gathering exemplifies the power of redemptive goodwill and our shared commitment to the peace, prosperity, and stability of our beloved Sierra Leone. I'm particularly pleased that the historic Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act I signed into law last year has realized our national aspiration for women to be significantly represented in Parliament and to participate fully in the legislative process. This is a significant milestone in our journey towards an inclusive and equitable society. I commend the leadership of Parliament. The leaders of political parties and the representatives of paramount chiefs for their mutual respect and shared vision in conducting legislative affairs. Together, we can work towards a brighter, more peaceful and prosperous future for Sierra Leone. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the African Union, ECOWAS, and the ambassadors of the United States of America, United Kingdom, and the European Union, whose unwavering support of our locally led dialogue has been instrumental in our journey towards peace and stability. Your support has been instrumental in our journey towards the peace and stability that we enjoy. Thank you. The Cross-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Bodies Review Report will strengthen our efforts to build a more just, inclusive, and equitable democracy. I urge all parties to approach this task with sincerity, commitment, and urgency. Amen. I'm profoundly grateful to the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, the Political Parties Regulation Commission, the National Commission for Democracy, the National Commission for Democracy and the Interreligious Council, the leadership of the two major political parties, the APC and the SLPP, and all national stakeholders. Your dedication to peaceful and constructive engagement has helped ease political tensions and advance our shared national interest. Making peace can be challenging, but enjoying its dividends is deeply rewarding. I thank every citizen of this great nation who has remained committed to peace, despite attempts by a few to incite violence and fear. What would we be as leaders and politicians without the citizens to serve? In the timeless words of Nelson Mandela, and I quote, "Great anger and violence can never build a nation." End of quote. As politicians, we must emulate the courage of our people who have resisted division. We must rise above those who spread incivility, disinformation, hate, fear, and division. Turning to one another with empathy, compassion, and respect for our diversity is the only way to maintain our place among the top 10 most peaceful countries in Africa. And as a global leader in religious tolerance, this is the only way to nurture and sustain our democracy. Alongside cooperative citizens, we owe our peace, security, and stability to the tireless dedication, vigilance, and heroism of our security and intelligence forces. They have confronted and foiled violent insurrections, coups, and numerous threats designed to destabilize our nation. We will never forget the sacrifices of those who have paid the ultimate price to protect our democracy. Their firm dedication to defending our democracy and ensuring the safety of every Sierra Leonean is truly commendable. Our national security architecture is better coordinated, and early warning and response mechanisms are now more proactive and robust. I start with the Medium-Term National Development Plan 2024-2030. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, no government can succeed without concrete and implementable medium and long-term goals meticulously designed to address the unique needs of its people and reflect their realities of the time. Even the best laid plans can encounter obstacles, but with such foresight, a nation remains vulnerable to the unpredictable challenges of our globalized world. For a relatively small country like ours, it is imperative to possess a clear vision that shades us from the shifting winds of circumstances. This underscores the importance of Sierra Leone's Medium-Term National Development Plan 2024-2030, launched on January 30th, that transcends local aspirations and aligns seamlessly with global ambitions for a more developed and equitable world. The plan serves as a comprehensive blueprint of transformative acceleration in critical areas such as food security, human capital development, and job creation. It guides our journey towards sustainable development and the achievement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Furthermore, it harmonizes with the African Union's Agenda 2063. Our commitment to this plan is reflected in the honest efforts we have already undertaken. As I share our key achievements over the past year, I invite you to view them not merely as statistics, but as milestones in our journey towards a future where our citizens are live a more dignified life, and Sierra Leone stand proud and resilient on the global stage. Let our National Development Plan and its implementation be a testament of our collective ambition and a guiding light for the prosperous nation we are building together. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as I outline some notable achievements of my government's National Development Plan, a more comprehensive report has been laid to this House for your consideration. I will start with agriculture and food security. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, agriculture and food security are the cornerstones of a nation's stability and prosperity. Without the ability to feed our people, we risk sitting atop a volatile precipice poised for unrest and turmoil. The adage, "A hungry man is an angry man," holds profound truth, highlighting the direct link between food scarcity and national security. In my address to this esteemed House last year, I emphasized that prioritizing investment in agriculture can mitigate food price volatility, enhance our resilience to external shocks, and advance our journey towards food self-sufficiency. Increasing investment in the agriculture sector has the power to create jobs, reduce dependency on essential food imports, boost export earnings from cash crops, and catalyze sustainable economic growth. This investment is a safeguard for national security and a vision for a prosperous future. As we prioritize feeds alone in our new medium-term national development plan, our vision for a robust food production system is private sector-led, transforming every aspect of our agricultural food value chain. My government has focused on addressing key constraints such as finance, soil fertility, water management, mechanization, quality seed inputs, infrastructure, and the deployment of technology and research to boost agricultural productivity. Since the launch of the Feed Salon program in October last year, we have made the following strides in collaboration with international partners and non-governmental organizations. 1. Expansion of rice production. We have expanded rice production areas to include inland valley zones, irrigated fields, and mechanized services to expedite land preparation. 2. Mechanization of the value chain. We increase mechanization by providing tractors, harvesters, rice mills, and 3 landing crafts for riverine areas. 3. Research and quality input. Utilizing research to deliver high-quality inputs for optimal yields in key value chains, including rice, cocoa, and honor. 4, revival of cooperatives. We have reintroduced the cooperative system to support rice farming and cocoa production and marketing. 5, development of agribusinesses. We supported the establishment of the first cocoa processing factory, a sardine factory using local ingredients, a cashew processing factory, and a local scale egg production and poultry hatchery. 6, establishment of agro-industrial hubs. We have created hubs in key rice production areas, rehabilitated markets, replaced hand-drawn ferries with bridges, and constructed a dike and constructed a dike and 35 kilometers of feeder roads. 7, support to armed forces agriculture. We enhance the armed forces agricultural unit with machinery, high quality inputs to scale up rice production. 8, financial instruments for agriculture. We tailored financial solutions such as community banks, $10 million United States agricultural credit facility at 10% interest rate. And a pioneering crop insurance scheme worth 28 million new loans. 9, Arctic and climate smart agriculture. We introduced technology to support agricultural research and established early warning system for food security, a soil digital information system, and a national farmers registry linked to national identity numbers. 10, empowerment of women and youth. We expanded the participation of women and youth in agriculture, particularly in post-production rice processing. 11, improved farmer earnings. We launched a pilot outgrower scheme in 𝐶𝐢𝐬 district to increase the production, processing, marketing, and distribution of Our government has partnered with international coalitions to enhance agricultural strategies, create an enabling environment for private sector participation, and strengthen inclusive food systems and institutions. Sierra Leone currently co-chairs the Alliance of Champions for Food Systems Transformation. And is also signatory to the Republic of Korea's K-Rice Belt project, supporting select African countries in achieving rice self-sufficiency. I come to human capital development, education and skills training. Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament, beyond feeding our population, we must enrich their lives and equip them to achieve their utmost. Human capital development is a profound commitment to our people's well-being and future. Over the past 6 years, my government has significantly increased funding for basic education, technical and vocational training, and higher education. Our achievement in education financing, legislative reviews, governance reforms, inclusive tuition-free access, student retention initiatives, gender parity, STEM education, teacher training, and student learning outcomes have garnered international acclaim from our development partners and the United Nations Secretary General. We have expanded nationwide facilities for tertiary, technical, and vocational education, reskilling, and entrepreneurship training, particularly for youth and women, strengthening our mid-workforce development. Investment in education and skills training catalyzes inclusive and sustainable economic growth, fostering innovation, entrepreneurship, and a competitive, productive workforce. This attracts new capital ventures and foreign direct investment. My government will continue to collaborate with existing partners and seek new cooperation frameworks for education and skills training. Measures to this end will be presented to this House in due course. Human capital development, healthcare. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our commitment to affordable and quality healthcare aligns with the global call for universal health coverage. Building on the successes of the past 5 years, we have leveraged health financing through partnerships with the World Bank, Global Fund, and FCDO, among others, implementing schemes to reduce patient out-of-pocket costs. We have recruited 5,000 health workers, increased the number of doctors, to over 600, and invested in capital building, in capacity building to improve healthcare efficiency. Training on new procedures, deploying new technologies to support disease detection, diagnosis, and patient management, and ensuring delivery of essential medicines and supplies to reach the last mile user have enhanced our national health system. The public-private cost recovery pilot scheme and mobile medical services through hospitals on wheels have further reduced the health cost for patients. Our partnership with Massachusetts have provided 5,000 free surgeries to Sierra Leoneans, and other public-private sector projects are ongoing. Healthcare infrastructure investments have increased significantly through collaboration with partners, including JICA, Partners in Health, and the UAE government. We are rehabilitating 16 government hospitals and have completed a new hospital in Jutema, 110 hospital in Putloko, and Julius Malabio Pediatric Center of Excellence in Additional projects include constructing the Waterloo Hospital, the 166-bed hospital, Center of Excellence, 166 Hospital Center of Excellence in Konon. A new midwifery school in Kedema. Therapeutic oxygen plant, regional labs facilities, the rehabilitation of the obstetric fistula operating theatre in Bo, and installing solar electrification at 6 hospitals and 200 peripheral health units. Sierra Leone has met the 80% global standard for special care baby units in every district. With survival rates at these facilities at 87%. Special care baby unit will soon be extended to the remaining 2 districts of 𝐇𝐢𝐬 and Falaba. New programs focused on reducing child mortality and maternal mortality rates have been established, leading to significant improvement in child and maternal health. Inpatient malaria death rates have decreased due to the distribution of insecticide-treated nets, and we have one of the highest vaccine coverage rates in Africa. Introducing the first of the WHO approved malaria vaccine, that is about 1,700,000 doses, are available until 2025, and routine HPV vaccination for girls aged 10 have strengthened our health outcomes. Our handling of the COVID-19 pandemic received high commendations. To build on this, we have established the National Public Health Agency to coordinate global and regional partnerships and lead prevention, responsiveness, surveillance, diagnostics, and vaccines for epidemics. We are committed to broadening the access to clean water and sanitation facilities through ongoing urban and rural water supply projects. Efforts to protect water catchment areas and promote waste management have prevented major disease outbreaks. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I extend my gratitude to Parliament for enacting key key legislative changes, including the Allied Health Professions Act and the Tobacco and Nicotine Act, and transforming the Nurses and Midwives Board into a council. These measures advance our government's healthcare initiative. Further bills will be presented to continue our work in improving the health and well-being of Sierra Leoneans. Job creation and rural livelihoods. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, job creation is crucial for a thriving economy. Our youth employment scheme focuses on protecting, supporting, and creating jobs across the country for our growing youth workforce. We are committed to a cohesive approach, investing in education and skills training, developing inland valley zones, digital jobs, and technical skills to integrate youth into public sector agencies. Sectoral agencies developed with active involvement of young people will map out job quality and quantity. In addition, my government has helped resolve over 70% of industrial disputes, including the payment of severance benefits, collective bargaining agreements, and disputes. We have reinforced support these actions by enacting and proposing new legislation, including the Employment Act 2023 and the Work Permit Act 2023. Upcoming bills such as Industrial Relations and Trade Union Bill, the Workers' Compensation Bill, the Social Protection Bill, and the Occupational Health and Safety Bill will further support workplace equity and safety, affirming the right to decent work and pay. The Sierra Leone Local Content Agency fosters market and job linkages through supply market development programs, tailored civic schemes, dedicated made in Sierra Leone shares in retail outlets, and bookkeeping and entrepreneurship skills training. 18 cocoa, coffee, and cashew block farms have been established, increasing productivity, entrepreneurship, sustainable livelihood, and creating thousands of jobs in the informal economy and rural communities. Rural livelihood. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, rural development is crucial for our nation's growth and stability. A significant portion of our farming and food production occurs in the rural communities. Rural does not have to mean poverty. By developing our rural areas, we can alleviate the burden on cities and ensure even greater growth across the country. We have invested in rural roads, bridges, markets, and social infrastructure across 5 regions to create safe farm-to-market channels, facilitating farm import delivery, and ensure quicker access to medical and essential services. My government will continue introducing measures, policies, and agreements to boost rural economic activity, support livelihoods, and enhance the quality of life for all Sierra Leoneans. Infrastructure development and technology. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, my government views infrastructure investment as essential public good, catalyzing inclusive, sustainable, and resilient economic growth. I'll start with energy infrastructure. Accessible, reliable, and affordable energy is critical for economic development. Recognizing this, we have reformed the energy sector and expanded the country's electricity infrastructure. With Parliament's approval, we launched the agreements for nationwide generation projects, reintegrating renewable and thermal energy sources, tripling our generation capacity. We have strung over 500 kilometers of transmission lines, rehabilitated the distribution network in Western area and in Bo and Kelima, and added new tanks to the CLSG-WAP transmission network. Solar mini grids in 45 towns now serve nearly 10,000 households. 200 health facilities and libraries are powered by off-grid solar systems. The feasibility studies for the northern and the southern transmission corridors are complete, and further measures will be presented to this House. Road infrastructure. Road infrastructure connects economic centers and promotes service delivery to underserved areas, accelerating growth and development. Projects like the Manoa, Tampari, Matrijon, and Kedema bridges are ongoing. We Sumbuya, Moselelu, Kabaferi, and Pascali are set to commence soon. The resurfacing of urban roads in major regional centers and the operational clusters of integrated resilient urban mobility projects, including the Waka Fine buses. Pedestrian bridges, medium barriers, and street lighting enhance connectivity. Road safety improvements include secure digitized number plates, road frequency identification, vehicle licenses, digital road records and fitness cards, and biometric driver's licenses. The Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority has decentralized services with new electronic connectivity to outstations and reactivated the emergency toll-free 244 call center. Port infrastructure. I thank this honorable house again for repeating and replacing with the modern Sierra Leone Ports and Harbour Authority 2023. Our port has passed the International Ship and Port Security Code and rigorous IMO audits, and in recognition from Port Management Association for West Africa and Central Africa as the most improved port in terms of ease of doing business. Cargo productivity and turnaround time for 2 consecutive years. Airport infrastructure. Our new international airport scored an unprecedented 72% in an international civil aviation organization audit. I thank the House for ratifying bilateral air service agreement with several countries, including air travel options. Ethiopia Airlines has started scheduled flights to Freetown International Airport, and further aviation sector measures will be presented to this House. Telecommunication and digital infrastructure. Telecommunications investment have improved last-mile fiber connectivity, expanded new networks, increased telephone users, and narrowed the digital gap. These efforts have enhanced digital literacy and skills development, particularly for women and girls, and extended digital financial services to rural and unbanked populations, improving financial inclusion and overall economic development. The National Telecommunications Authority is working with mobile operators to extend and improve voice and data services, boosting economic activities and public service delivery. To enhance cybersecurity resilience, we have conducted capacity audits and training for high court judges, prosecutors, and law enforcement officers. We work with sovereign authorities to establish a fully functional national cybersecurity incident response team. I thank Parliament for ratifying the Budapest Convention. The digital transformation project aims to expand broadband internet, upgrade national telecommunications infrastructure, improve resilience and digital skills, and enhance the government's capacity to deliver digital public good services. Starlink, the world's first and largest satellite constellation using low Earth orbit to deliver broadband internet, is now available in Sierra Leone. Making us the 9th African country to offer this service. We seek to land a second submarine fiber cable and operationalize the Sierra Leone internet exchange to improve connectivity and digital interaction within our borders. Public service infrastructure reform. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, effective public service architecture is essential for delivering the dividends of democracy and ensuring seamless public service delivery. It strengthens governance, enhances public accountability and transparency at all levels. This principle is central to our new million-term national development plan. My government will implement the following initiatives supported by forthcoming measures. 1 is the annual public sector reform dialogues. 2, review of outdated policies and laws. 3, human resource audit for all public service employees. 4, development of a performance management policy. 5, publication of annual state of public sector reports. 6, institutional capacity needs assessment. 7, effective coordination and monitoring. And 8, rationalization and harmonization of public sector mandates and structures. The Wages and Compensation Commission is now operational. Civil service reforms include reviewing the Civil Service Code, regulations and rules, and developing a competence framework to guide recruitment, professionalism, and performance management. Regular audits maintain the accuracy and integrity of public sector payroll. Cross-cutting areas. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, moving on from key achievements in our Big 5 game changers, I will now brief the House on significant cross-cutting areas, starting with the economy. Building a resilient and diversified economy. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our prudent economic policies and public financial management reforms over the past years have stabilized the economy and ensured sustainable recovery Our economy is now larger than in 2018, and we are on track for a 4% growth rate. Driven by increased productivity in agriculture, mining, local manufacturing, and services. Economic diversification is integral to our sustainable development strategy. Through import substitution and light manufacturing, we have increased agriculture and fisheries contribution to GDP from 3 to 14%. Sierra Leone is now a net exporter of vegetable oil to the ECOWAS market and produces a variety. And we also produce a variety of local products, including soap, cement, soft drink, fruit juices, confectionaries, living sheets, seasoned deals, tomato paste, onion, sardines, good days. The blue economy. In the tissue sector, we have exceeded revenue targets, curbed illegal fishing, protected fish stocks, and improved export certification. We will develop commercial aquaculture systems, increase fish production, and create more jobs for women and youth in rural areas. The fish harbour investment is critical for our economy, generating billions of leons and stimulating related investments. We assure responsible ecosystem monitoring and evaluation. Our medium-term plans include making the harbour a center of excellence for marine education and duty-free trade zone for exporters and importers. The mining sector. Adhering to international environmental, social, and governance best practices, local mining companies now benefit from significant payments. Local mining communities now benefit from significant payments, including surface rent and community development. We will enhance revenue generation, review legislative instruments, support artisanal and small-scale mining, protect mining affected communities, employ advanced technology to combat illegal mining, and boost women's participation in the sector. Domestic revenue mobilization. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our medium-term revenue mobilization strategy is improving domestic revenue collection, exceeding targets in 2023 and the first half of 2024. Prudent expenditure management has reduced the budget deficit. We maintain fiscally responsible and sustainable debt levels. Inflation declined from 55% in October last year to 32% in June 2024. That is instilling optimism and hope for the future among our citizens and stakeholders. The leon has stabilized and appreciated against major currencies. We have increased storage capacity for strategic petroleum stocks and reduced fuel costs, easing the transportation and these efforts demonstrate our commitment to building a resilient and prosperous economy. Mobilization of external resources. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in a world where smaller nations grapple with limited resources, creatively mobilizing, funding, and forging supportive partnerships is paramount. Crafting visionary plans is one thing, but without resources, they remain words on paper. Strategic funding mobilization is a cornerstone of our commitment to sustainable development and economic growth. Our recent achievement in securing external resources highlight this commitment. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our prudent economic policies have restored donor and investor confidence, leading to substantial support from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. In November 2023, we successfully concluded our previous IMF program, meeting all benchmarks and securing over $200 million United States dollars. And that is essential for delivering services and mitigating external shocks. Building on this success, the IMF has greenlighted negotiations for 2 new programs: the Extended Credit Facility and the Resilient and Sustainability Trust. These initiatives will provide approximately 500 million United States dollars to support economic stabilization and combat climate change, fostering a resilient economy. We have made the fiscal and monetary targets required to continue these negotiations. The final approval anticipated in October. So you have to keep praying. Furthermore, over the past 3 years, we completed 3 budget support operations with the World Bank, resulting in $265 million United States dollars in direct budget support. We are currently negotiating additional operations that will bring $65 million United States dollars in direct budgetary support for the 2024 fiscal year. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in June I co-chaired an investment roundtable on renewable energy and food security for Sierra Leone in Vienna, Austria, in conjunction with the OPEC Fund for Development and the Arab Coordinating Group. We presented the Bumbuna Hybrid Solar Project and Fifth Salon Industrial Cluster for Tomago. I'm pleased to report that our partners responded positively, pledging $800 million United States dollars to support our aspirations for energy and food security by 2030. The pledges include the OPEC Fund, $250 million United States dollars, Badia, $250 million United States dollars, IFAD, $90 million US dollars, Africa 50, $130 million United States dollars, and the Qatar Fund for Development, $80 million United States dollars. Trusted partners including the Islamic Development Bank, African Finance Corporation, Arab Gulf Program for Development, UNIDO, and the Saudi and Abu Dhabi funds have made bilateral commitments to support our development programs. Honorable members, attending the Millennium Challenge Cooperation Compact for the first time in our nation's history is a significant achievement, placing us among countries that meet rigorous standards of stability, democratic governance, public finance transparency, and economic freedom. The MCC provides grant funding for large-scale infrastructure projects, reducing fiscal pressure, allowing for increased investment in social goods, and signaling Sierra Leone as a prime investment destination. The 480 million NCC Compact will drive profound governance reforms in the energy sector, enhancing financial viability, increasing access to reliable energy, and stimulating growth in agriculture, mining, and manufacturing. MCC investments will create jobs and new income streams for Sierra Leonean businesses. Governance, human rights, and justice reforms. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, justice and transparency forms the bedrock of a stable, prosperous society. Corruption erodes the soul of a nation, entrenching systematic injustice and lasting consequences. As stewards of this nation, we must embody the rule of law, ensuring that justice and transparency guide our every decision and action. My government has consistently scored high marks in international anti-corruption indicators. Such as those by the MCC and Afrobarometer, due to our dedication to fighting and minimizing fraud, waste, and abuse. The Anti-Corruption Commission's rigorous strategy has led to a record high recoveries, doing so independently. Confidence in the audit service has increased. It is now covering 85% of government expenditure and expanding into new audit areas like environmental and climate change, information system, forensics, and extractive industries. With the European Union's support, we are deepening decentralization, empowering local authorities to more effectively identify, plan, budget, monitor, and assess projects. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has advanced peaceful coexistence in communities, particularly in selecting traditional leaders and resolving tensions. The Human Rights Commission, maintaining its A accreditation and complying with Paris principles, continues to strengthen partnerships with international and regional entities. Its significant contribution to making elections, to monitoring elections, have ensured oversight and a reduction in election-related violence, thereby safeguarding the democratic process. Legislation will be introduced to empower the Commission further to uphold bearers accountable and highlight citizens' responsibilities. I'm very tired for beats. Pursue a legislative agenda addressing gaps in existing laws to ensure swift, impartial, and equitable justice. A modernized Criminal Procedures Act has been enacted, and we have invested in the state-of-the-art we address the gender disparity in the judiciary. We address gender disparity in the judiciary and alternatives to detention for children in conflict with the law. Gender equity and women's empowerment. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, since the enactment of the 𝐤𝐬𝐬 Act, gender has been mainstreamed in policies and legislation across government. We have strengthened response strategies for sexual and gender-based violence and implemented actions for the financial inclusion and empowerment of women, especially in rural areas. The bipartisan support for the private member bill prohibiting child marriage, championed by Her Excellency the First Lady. Thank you. That marks a significant step towards realizing the full potential of our girls, underscoring our collective commitment to their well-being. In the wise words of 𝐿ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, I quote, "Investing in women is smart economics." And investing in girls, catching them young, upstream, is even smarter economics. End of quote. My government's firm commitment to promoting and protecting the right of women in Sierra Leone is a promise for a more equitable and prosperous society. Social inclusion. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, empathy and compassion in governance are not merely about ticking the boxes. It is about genuine inclusion and transforming the lives of the most vulnerable. To ensure the right to work and a decent livelihood, my government has provided financial support to the vulnerable, the aged, and other disadvantaged populations through cash transfers to supplement household income. In line with our commitment to the Global Disability Inclusive Sustainable Goal, we are domesticating international instruments to improve representation and service delivery for persons with disability. The mass digital registration of social safety net recipients and the development of social protection bill, we formalize our commitment to supporting the most vulnerable populations, building household resilience against short-term and lingering shocks, and aiding the transition to stable employment. Our single interest Munafa scheme has seen recovery and repayment rates that are very high, with nearly 10,000 participants. The World Bank grant is supporting 60 agro-processing SMEs across various value chains. Synthetic drugs and substance abuse. My government is urgently addressing the threat of illicit drug trafficking and addiction, particularly the rise in synthetic drug use, such as push, which has led to increased fatality among our youth. We declared a national emergency on drugs and substance abuse in April, and established the National Task Force on Drugs and Substance Abuse to address drug substance abuse through a comprehensive strategy. We will continue to enhance the psychosocial services, skills training for rehabilitated addicts, and law enforcement against illicit drug activities. Additionally, we will advance mental health care by enacting comprehensive mental health laws this year. Anti-human trafficking. Since the Anti-Human Trafficking and Migrant Smuggling Act 2022, we have intensified efforts to combat human trafficking by expanding securitized birth and death registration, civil registration, and ID management systems, as well as establishing a statelessness secretariat to reduce statelessness. Press freedom and education, and civic education. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, following the repeal of the seditious libel laws and the enactment of the new Independent Media Commission Act and cybersecurity laws, my government remains committed to supporting a free press in which no journalist is harmed or jailed for practicing journalism. Our civic education and engagement strategy will build trust and counter fake news with proactive, accurate, and timely information. Weekly press conferences are simulcast on major national media platforms, supported by our new civic education agenda and communication strategy, which provides synchronized messaging on government's Big Five agenda: climate change, environmental justice, public health, and digital literacy. Foreign policy and international cooperation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, just as it is vital to care for the domestic affairs and ensure Sierra Leone works for Sierra Leoneans, we must also consider our nation's relationship with the rest of the world. The fate of nations is often greatly influenced by the quality of their foreign policies, which can either promote thriving economies or exacerbate suffering. Multilateralism, therefore, plays a crucial role in a country's growth and development, fostering collaboration and shared prosperity. Sierra Leone continues to progressively shape and advance its foreign policy in line with global realities and regional developments, while promoting national interest. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, mindful of recent developments within our sub-region, including breaches of constitutional order, my government remains committed to peace, security, and safeguarding the sanctity of constitutional democracy. As a founding ECOWAS member, we recognize the importance of a collective approach to security, and we will continue to engage positively with sister states in transition. Our government acknowledges the link between security and development and strives to deepen our contribution to regional and international peace. Sierra Leone's recent membership in the African Union Peace and Security Council 2024-2026 will amplify its voice in advancing peace and preventing conflict in our sub-region and continent. We are committed to expanding our diplomatic presence globally to improve our competitiveness and benefit from friendly relations. We recently opened a diplomatic mission in Qatar and plan to open embassies in France and Algeria. Additionally, more countries are establishing embassies in Freetown, including Iceland, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, with Russia and South Korea and Brazil expressing similar engagement. Sierra Leone at the United Nations Security Council. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm proud to announce that Sierra Leone commenced its historic second term as an elected member of the United Nations Security Council on the 1st of January 2024. This transformation from a situation country to a principled and effective member resulted from my leadership and the concerted effort of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Affairs. Sierra Leone now has a seat at the highest table on matters of international peace and security, presenting a unique opportunity to participate in global discussions and influence decisions in the world's premier body responsible for maintaining international peace and security. In the past 6 months, Sierra Leone has pursued its priorities through partnership and effective representation. We have called attention to critical issues affecting Africa and the broader international community, advocating for peace, security, accountability, and sustainable development to address conflict root causes. Through collaborative strategies and a commitment to multilateralism, Sierra Leone has significantly contributed to the Security Council's work in coordinating the A3+ mechanism and the elected 10 members of the Council, E10, will continue to enhance our profile and influence globally. Leveraging our experiences and collaborating with international partners, Sierra Leone has co-signed important commitments for women's peace and security, climate and food security, and support for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees, UNRWA. Sierra Leone has taken an effective and active role in debates, supporting UN peacekeeping operations, and sponsoring resolutions on African security issues, post-conflict reconstruction, peace building, and conflict prevention. Highlights include co-writing and adopting the presidential statement on peace consolidation in West Africa, and sponsoring a ceasefire resolution in Gaza. As coordinator of the Committee of 10 African Heads of State, we continue to champion the common African position on the Security Council reform and the need to rectify historical injustice of Africa's exclusion from the permanent category of the Security Council. This month, we assumed the presidency of the Security Council. Coordinating affairs, showcasing our national resilience and commitment to sustainable peace. Through our efforts, we advance the agenda for women, youth, peace, and security, support post-conflict reconstruction, and address climate change. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Sierra Leone's proactive participation at the United Nations Security Council is the legacy we will bequeath. A principled and respected Sierra Leone on the global stage, which I did not get when I came to office. Climate change. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, addressing climate change is not just an option. It is a necessity in a climate vulnerable country like ours. The catastrophic potential of climate-related events can erase decades of development in an instant. Ignoring climate change means courting disaster, and there will be no country to enjoy or be proud of if we fail in this duty. Last year, I established the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy, and Food Security, 𝐶PREF, within the Office of the President. This initiative recognizes the interconnected priorities of climate change, renewable energy, and food security. 𝐶PREF aims to ensure policy coherence, mobilize international partnerships and resources, provide advocacy and support implementation across government agencies. These efforts are vital for addressing climate impact, achieving sustainable energy access, and enhancing food and nutrition resilience. Our government has undertaken significant environmental management initiatives, including sustainable forestry, reforestation, carbon sequestration assessment, and access to voluntary carbon credit markets. The Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency now provides tailored forecasts for various sectors based on real-time data. The National Protected Area Authority works diligently to monitor and conserve our natural parks and mangroves. We are also developing the National Plastics and Plastic Waste Management Bill to address the pressing issue of plastic. The rising frequency of adverse weather patterns driven by global climate change brings significant economic, social, and environmental risks. To combat these challenges, we established the National Disaster Management Agency, NDMA. Over the past year, the NDMA has worked with communities to assess risks and respond to disasters, developing a comprehensive disaster risk financial strategy. Further measures will be presented to this House. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, I'm actually concluding now. That will be good news. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, a profound responsibility lies before us. Our journey from the enthusiasm of electoral politics to the solemn duty of governance is not merely a transition. It is a sacred pledge to the dreams and aspirations of every citizen of Sierra Leone. Today we are called to transcend partisan divides, unify our efforts, guide our beloved nation towards a future marked by prosperity, equity, and stability. Our medium-term national development plan is the manifestation of our collective vision. Our medium-term national development plan is the manifestation of our collective vision, a meticulously crafted roadmap that guides our steps towards sustainable development. Through this plan, we chart the course for economic growth, infrastructure advancement, and social welfare. The achievements of the past year are testament to the plan's efficacy and our dedication to our people's well-being. However, the realization of these aspirations demand more than plans and promises. It requires stability. A stable government ensures continuity, fosters trust, provides the fertile ground for our development initiatives to flourish. In this stability, we find the strength to tackle challenges and the resilience to weather any storm. As we turn the wheels of governance, as the executive, legislative, and judiciary branches, we must never take our citizens' faith and patience for granted. We hold positions of leadership, but the true holders of power are the citizens, the only group of people from whom we derive legitimacy. To hold our various positions. Our fingers must never drift away from the nation's cause. We must be both responsible and responsive. We owe a profound debt to our international partners, whose steadfast support and collaboration enhance our capacity to achieve our goals, and to every individual and organization that stands with us in this noble endeavor. Your contributions are the lifeblood of our national progress. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in this August chamber, you are both representatives of your constituencies as well as architects of Sierra Leone's future. It is incumbent upon us all to rise above the din of political discourse and focus on the greater good. The task before us is monumental. So too is our collective will. Your dedication, collaboration, and commitment to the principles of good governance are vital. Together, we can build a Sierra Leone where every citizen has the opportunity to thrive, where justice and equality are not mere ideas, but lived realities. and where peace and prosperity are the defining features of our national identity. As we move forward, let us be guided by the wisdom of our ancestors and the hope of future generations. Let us lead with integrity, act with compassion, and govern with resolute belief that our best days are yet to come. United in purpose and steadfast in our resolve, we shall navigate the path ahead with courage and clarity. May our endeavors be blessed with success and enduring impact. May God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Please be seated. Okay. Honorable Vice President, Mr. Speaker, my Lord the Chief Justice, honorable members of Parliament, Her Excellency the First Lady, Ministers, Deputy Ministers of Government, and Your Worship the Mayor of Freetown, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency's address will now be received and laid on the table by the Majority Leader and Leader of the Government Business for a 5-day debate on a motion of thanks to His Excellency the President. I wish to thank the Majority Leader and Leader of Government Business. Honorable Vice President, Mr. Speaker, my Lord the Chief Justice, honorable members of Parliament, Her Excellency the First Lady, Ministers and Deputy Ministers of Government, Your Worship the Mayor of Freetown, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. After the national anthem, His Excellency the President will leave the chamber, accompanied by Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, for the Speaker's seat on the way to State House. Please wait patiently in your respective places for Mr. Speaker to return and adjourn the sitting of the House. Shall we rise, please? His Excellencies will be accompanied by the Vice President and the First Lady.